Good morning, prepared homesteaders. Looks like it's going to be another pretty decent day here, a little on the warm side for this time of the year. Nothing extreme, but just abnormally above normal, I guess you could say, above normal temperatures. So yeah, gold is above $3,900 an ounce. $3,900 an ounce. It jumped like $100 almost yesterday. And silver, it's going up too, $46, $47. It's going up. This should be a wake-up call. Folks, gold and silver would not be doing this long, this consistency. I mean, an unusual pop, and then a sell-off. And then, oh, well, it's paper, gold and silver. No, it's the U.S. dollar is losing its value. And there's even talk that, well, cryptocurrency, I saw something yesterday, cryptocurrency, stable coins will prop up the dollar. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to, crash the dollar, switch over to a stable coin that's backed by the Fed, by the dollar, and say, oh, everything's fine. But the big thing is, folks, is gold and silver are skyrocketing because your currency is worth less. Speaking of that real quick, this month, October, the last Sunday of this month, is our monthly meeting. And I know I don't mention it usually this early in advance, but I'm telling you, if you can make plans to attend, this is going to be the meeting to come to. Missouri has recently passed a law, a gold and silver bill. It is now enshrined in law here in Missouri, and it is by far the best gold and silver bill in the United States. It makes gold and silver legal tender. It protects the ownership by you, by banks, by anyone from seizure. It removes capital gains taxes from it. It makes gold and silver have the ability now to be used in regular commerce. And so there are several institutions, banks, not Federal Reserve banks, not FDIC banks, private gold and silver backed banks, and companies that are manufacturing this. There's talk of gold and silver banks being built here in the United States, or credit unions kind of switching over to gold reserves, and Missouri actually minting its own coinage, gold and silver coins. So this whole group of executives and people and stuff, they're coming to our meeting. They're going to put on a lecture teaching Missourians how to do this, how this is going to work. This isn't some pipe dream. This isn't some kind of conspiracy. This isn't some kind of radical kind of This is Missouri law now, and it was passed overwhelmingly. The legislature wants it. The governor wants it. And so the state is moving towards that now. Now, the meeting that we're having, it's going to be a big deal. And the probably one of the biggest things is we're going to be giving away real, genuine gold and silver. I'm not going to say that everyone's going to get gold and silver. You don't have to buy a ticket. You don't have to make a donation. It's just, we're just going to randomly be giving away gold and silver. So, yeah, you probably want to come to that meeting. If you've never been, you can shoot me an email and we can talk. But for all the rest of you that's been, same time, same place, last Sunday of this month. I believe that's the 30th. Yeah, the 30th. All right. So a lot of other stuff's going on. Yesterday, all the generals, 800 and some odd generals and admirals met with the president and with the Secretary of War. It seemed to be a strange meeting. The topics, I get the military has to get back to standards and toughness and leanness and all. I agree with that. That's not the problem. There was just other strange things. Some of the things the president said were just odd. I think it was just mostly his rambling. So that's strange. he said I showed you the clip of it yesterday. That we're going to go to war so that we can end all wars. So I think that we are getting into that neighborhood. He also said that he is, considering, and that it's part of the plan to put ground troops in Venezuela to take out drug cartels. So it wouldn't be just an aerial campaign, that there could be actually a ground campaign into Venezuela. Other places around the world are also actively preparing for war. I told you this yesterday, but there's been more to it. Iran and Israel just continually seem like that they're getting closer and closer. Russia sent some MiGs down to Iran, and then there's some more advanced fighter jets coming that way. Also some missile systems from Russia. There's already been some fighter jets from China coming into Iran, so there's a buildup there. And everything looks like that's what Israel is doing, is also getting ready for an attack on Iran. Up in Europe, things are really getting tense and tight. There's been a lot of drone incursions into Europe. It's being reported today that Germany now seems to be the target, and there's been numerous times that drones have been spotted over critical infrastructure, military areas, and it looks as if they are mapping those areas. So either it's a really good false flag, or Russia is actually trying to figure things out and what they want to try to strike at. Or they could just be trying to put some fear into the Europeans. Either way, something in my mouth. Either way, the tension is getting high, and when things like that get that kind of tense, it doesn't take much, even a little accident, to cause things to kind of pop off. Also, in a weird, I think, personally, thing, the president signed an agreement with Qatar. Now, remember, Qatar is the one that, sent Trump the big fancy, $400 million plane, worked out a bunch of tech deals between Elon Musk and Microsoft and all the other big tech companies, the AI companies. And then Israel turns around and bombs them to kill some Hamas people, they say. And so there's bad blood there. But then all of a sudden yesterday, the president signs this security pact with them, and it reads very similar to the NATO's Article 5, that if Qatar gets attacked, that we will defend them diplomatically, politically, economically, and militarily. Now, of course, the other side is Israel. Even after Benjamin Netanyahu said he regretted that he didn't really apologize. If you read what he says, he regretted that a Qatar citizen was killed in their strike against those Hamas terrorists. So anyways, Israel is still talking about, how bad Qatar is, that they're, they harbor and they support terrorists and stuff. And here we are signing this agreement with Qatar to protect them. It's interesting that this kind of stuff is happening. And then, of course, there's the peace plan with Hamas that the president has proposed, where he would be the head of Gaza Strip. He would run the Gaza Strip. BBC, British News, is reporting that it's unlikely. Their sources are saying it's unlikely that Hamas would agree to this thing. So, all this stuff that's happening. I think it's becoming more and more clear for those that are seeing, have the eyes to see, of how bad things are getting. That's all internationally. Here domestically, in the past week, there's been around 50 bomb threats at college campuses. There have been a much larger show of force by federal agents up in Portland and places like Chicago. It's not getting yet to any kind of big riot, but I think that it has certainly the potential. And then, of course, we have the economy, that everyone, regardless of whether you live in a peaceful community or not, everyone's dealing with it. Everyone is struggling. The government shut down this morning at midnight. That may be the best news we've heard all day. But, looking at all the problems, the housing markets, of course I said the dollar and gold and jobs and prices of things. You know, you look at prices of like electricity, prices of groceries, everything is extremely high. And we're being told constantly on a daily basis that everything is good, that everything is getting better, that it's the best economy, that we're spreading world peace, that we're more religious, that there's revivals breaking out, all this kind of stuff. That's what we're being told. And, you know, I can remember through Biden and Obama and even Clinton how Orwellian some of the things that they did and said was, you know, but this is really, really very much out of, you know, very Orwellian, that things are so obvious. You know, the price of coffee, the price of beef, the price of any grocery, you know, the electric bill that you're paying, job markets, buying a house. All of these things are quite obvious, and more. I just mentioned a few, but it's quite obvious that the immorality, the fakeness of the spiritual movement that seems to be kind of growing in certain areas of the country, the fakeness of these, you know, right-wing online influencers and stuff, the obviousness of wars everywhere. And yet we're told all the time that things are good. It's best ever. It's amazing. Strongest, best. Making lots and lots of money, right? You and I aren't making hand over fist money, right? Statistically, it's showing that most Americans are making a little bit less, or they're not making any more, and so the costs have gone up, so that at the end of the day, the bottom dollar is less. This is the big grand psyop. And it's not specifically just Trump. It was happening under Biden and Obama and everyone else. It's just becoming bigger and worse because we're getting closer and closer to that kind of the end. They're getting closer and closer to the plan being fully into effect. And we have to be continually on guard for this, because they're going to say things that just sound amazing. Very likely isn't true. So, yes, we have to physically prepare. You have to be stocking up on things. You have to be developing your skills, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you really, really need right now to be becoming more aware and understanding of the fakeness in the things that are being said. I mean, yes, that's always happened. Government, you know, how do you tell a politician's lying? Their mouth's open. But it's more overt. It's more there, and it's been done so long and so much that a lot of people believe it. I mean, there's just this blind following of stuff. I don't know. We really need to be getting ready. I really think that we're very much on the verge of kind of taking a nosedive. That doesn't mean, you know, days or hours or anything like that, but I think it's close. And I know that not everyone is going to believe this and accept it and act on it, but those that do, those that understand it, you need to start getting things ready. However that is in your life, ready to be taking care of yourself. Let's put it that way. Because it's nuts right now. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.